Happy Sunday, gang. I hope you are all really well. It's Andy here on another Ask Andy Anything, the show that I'm bringing to you live every single day, 12:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, so that you guys can still feel connected, have a bit of fun, and keep everything nice and straightforward and simple as possible. I'm here to help make the complicated simple. So if you do have any questions, feel free to DM me or post a comment in the section below, and I'll be more than happy to field any questions that you've got in the real estate space, in its business, whether it's marketing, whether it's mental health, or if you want to have some fun and just ask me just something random, you're more than welcome to. Like I said, this thing's all about connection, fun, and simplicity. They're the three things that I live by. So if you want to have some fun with this, you're more than welcome to. Victoria, so where I'm based in Melbourne, for those of you that don't know, we've just had it announced that as of Wednesday night, we are to all be wearing masks if we go out. If we head out and into town, or if we head into the shops or to wherever we want to go, we do need to be wearing masks from this point on. We've got Michael Wood, who wants to come and say hello as well. Gang, whether you like it or not, there's a $200 fine for anybody that gets busted not wearing a mask. Now, you can go down the whole path of, it's not common law, and all that sort of stuff. But if you want to make your life easier, just get a mask on. Just do it, man. And at the end of the day, it's not going to affect you, really. Masks are super duper cheap, so come on, gang. Let's just put it on. I think I ordered or my wife's ordered me a Batman mask or something like that. So just to take the mickey out of me. So gang, just do yourselves a favor and please, just put it on. Just put the mask on. Let's just get it sorted. And then, if the government decides to make up some other decision or rule or whatever, then we'll just deal with that then as well. At the end of the day, gang, we can only play in the game that is put in front of us. We can only play by the rules that are instructed to us. So it's up to you how you want to play. It's up to you how you want to play the game. If you don't want to win, then keep arguing, keep tossing and turning over it, keep, causing yourself a couple more issues if you get busted by the coppers or whatever the case may be. Just get on with it, gang. Just get on with it. At the end of the day, the rules are changing all the time. COVID's such an unknown quantity, and that's one thing I will say about the government is it's not an easy task, is it, right? Because the goalposts keep shifting from a scientific point of view, let alone anything else. But you can only play what's in front of you. You can only play what's in front of you. So just make sure you keep playing, gang. Keep playing. Try not to get too frustrated. My own personal frustration is the fact that the list of inconsistencies is getting a bit long for me. It's starting to make me feel a little bit uncomfortable in that regard. But at the end of the day, I'm going to play the game that's in front of me. And I'd highly recommend that you guys do too. Now, just a couple of questions for us today. Personal one, and then one around virtual auctions. So let's crack on with the show. What did I want to be growing up? Thank you so much, Maria, for sending this question in. I wanted to be a Top Gun pilot. When I was about 4 years old, Top Gun came out. Maverick, Goose, Iceman, and the gang were flying around the air, shooting down MiGs and whatnot, and I really wanted to be a Top Gun pilot. I got the Top Gun game on the NES, on the 8-bit NES, and it was by far one of the most impossible games ever written, ever. Just getting past level 1 was like the hardest thing in the world. And then when you did, you'd pretty much wasted all your lives by the time you got to level 2, so you were screwed anyway. But I had the little stand, sort of little LED game thing that I got for Christmas as well, which made me really want to be a Top Gun pilot. Unfortunately, though, because I've got cytosis, so the reason why some people think I look high sometimes is the fact that my eyelids don't work. So unfortunately, as a result of that, my peripheral vision was affected permanently. So my dreams were shot down when I was 5, I think, when I went to a doctor's appointment, and they said that I wouldn't be able to be a pilot because of the fact my peripheral vision's never going to be good enough. So that was a bit upsetting at that sort of age, to have your dreams shot down at 5. But yeah, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be I wanted to go fight MiGs and whatnot alongside Maverick and the gang. What did anyone else want to be growing up? You're more than welcome to share your thoughts and comments. Eloise, thanks ever so much for joining us. She wants to know if my wife Felicity, my better half, can do one of these shows with me. You try and get her on. I'll leave it at that. You try and get her on. I'm more than happy to have her on. More than happy to have her on. She's way better an individual than me. Let's put it that way. So I'd love to have her on the show, but chances are you ain't gonna get her on, El. You can text her and find out. All right. Now then, so that's what I wanted to be growing up. Wanted to be a fighter pilot. Now, virtual auctions, are they really any good? So the clearance rates came through, success rates came through, and again, you know, success rates in Victoria at the minute with the virtual auction space are all over the place. You've got 400 auctions being reported on by CoreLogic. You've got just south of 200 being reported on by the REIV, hovering around the same sort of figure by realestate.com, domain.com. Clearance rates are wildly different. So 47.5, I think, for CoreLogic, but you know, almost up to it's sort of like 88 or something like that % for Victoria. So there's such a huge variation in the results that are being reported. So it does create a bit of anxiety, especially amongst the consumer population, right? Because they, depending on what website they look at, they'll give them a totally different outcome. So we need to really understand how these figures are so different, and then realistically, let's just put a finger on the pulse for a second, and I'll give you my observations as to what's going on in the marketplace. So the reason why the variation between CoreLogic and realestate.com are so different. Jeff White posted something on this about 30-40 minutes ago or an hour ago or so. The reason why they're so different is the way that they take into account the properties that were scheduled for auction that have been withdrawn. So, for example, I was scheduled to have 4 auctions yesterday, and all of them got cancelled because they moved to private sale. They would have been classed in the withdrawn section, right? And as a result, though, CoreLogic, because they saw the auction campaign right from the very start, they will classify that as a failed auction, which is a bit of a flaw in their system, if you ask me. Now, the REIV get figures reported to them by agents and by people that are out there in the field. And again, you're going to have a degree of uncertainty there because not all real estate agents will disclose all their facts and figures, right? They probably, some of them don't like to disclose that they didn't get the result right. Okay, so you've really got to make sure that you just make yourselves more aware as to what's going on around you, area upon area and house upon house. Different houses are getting sort of different kinds of results as well. So what I've seen in terms of finger on the pulse is that the properties that are going through to auction are the ones that have really got, I'd say conservative price ranges on them, but that's not a bad thing because right now in the marketplace, the buyers that are in the marketplace are super hot. They are really keen on transacting. If they are still in the marketplace to buy, then they are taking into account all of the distractions that all of us have got and still trying to buy a house. That is nature. That is this virus's way of pre-qualifying a lot of these people for you, right? So, gang, you've got to make sure that you just bear that in mind. If you have got a run in terms of opportunities through inquiries, if you're getting 20, 30, 40, 50 inquiries within the space of a week or whatever on a particular property, then it may be worth you striking a match on that and getting it to a virtual auction and putting them in transparent competition with each other. We're seeing it done really, really well with the Ray White group, the Barry Plank group, Harcourt's, Ratter and Co. up there in the northern suburbs. So a man Rob Osimo, Tony Lombardi, Dan Galea, those guys are doing an incredible job right now in the auction space. So it's all showing that it can be done. It's all showing that it can be done. So please bear that in mind. It's not like technology is going to put anybody off if they're really keen on buying the property. Now, how you communicate to those people, those buyers, is really critical. So, yes, you would have, like I mentioned in a previous episode, you would have the registered buyers on a Zoom or a Google Teams or something of that nature. Those registered buyers only, plus maybe the vendor on a silent sort of feed, and then you would have Gavel or a live stream or an Auctions Anywhere or Anywhere Auctions, or Auctions Live as a viewing platform so that people can see exactly what's going on with the bids. Really great way, those platforms. So Gavel in particular, I'm a good fan of Gavel. I've used Gavel a lot. Anywhere Auctions have got some really cool functionality parts to their system. They've all got their pros and cons. But you work with those in tandem. But then with the buyers that you've got registered, if it was me, I would perhaps try and get a communication through to them on the telephone. All right. So you would say to them, potentially have your live stream on the iPad. If you've got a laptop, great. Use that for your Zoom, and then keep your phone handy because I'll be texting you and giving you a call throughout the course of the auction. Okay. I mean, look, ideal world, you'd have a buyer per agent, but at the minute there's been 8-10 registrations for a number of auctions, like multiple registrations for a number of auctions. So it really, really does work in that respect. And the other thing is, for your vendors, if they see people there on the screen, registered buyers on the screen, then they know that there's potentially some action there for them, which is amazing. So it sort of helps them to feel that things are moving forward, guys. So really think about that, right? When you're thinking about the virtual auction space, don't panic about the tech. Worst comes to the worst, you just do a live feed to a Gavel, or you can even just do a live Facebook feed if you want, and then just have buyers on the other end of the phone and then report it on a screen behind you like what Ratter & Co do. They keep it really simple, not difficult at all. And like I said, if buyers are really scared of technology, just have them on the other end of the phone. I've done virtual auctions where there's been buyers that are slightly older that really don't really know how to work their way around the laptop too well, and it makes them nervous. So they've just been happy to bid over the phone. Not hard at all. Really not difficult to set up either. So don't be afraid of it. Pick your mark and strike, right? Even if you start with a private sale and you get loads of people coming through, do a transparency test and say, right, gang, we've just had that many inquiries. We want to keep it as transparent as possible, so we're going to take it to a virtual auction. Very easy to do, okay? So they can be amazing, and they're great for vendor realizations and things like that. Don't be afraid of them. And look, you know, we've had the extra restriction put on in Victoria. Sydney cases are starting to do that a little bit. Might be good to get your head around it anyway, just in case, because we could be here for a while. So why not take advantage of the low stock levels and high buyer interest while you can? Yeah. At the end of the day, the higher the price you get for the home, the better off the vendor is, the better your reputation is, and the more transparent the process has been, so that buyers, they can't argue. And you know you've left them all, they've all been, you know, they've all put it out there as best as they can. So, gang, that's it, really. Only a couple of questions today, and I want to keep it short and sweet because it is a Sunday, and you guys have got to go chill out, as have I. But, gang, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for this week. All of your input, all of your interactions have been absolutely amazing. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, or if anybody else has asked you anything, or if they've had troubles with regards to mental health or anything like that, and you just want to put it out here, even anonymously, you're more than welcome to do so. I will not post your name or anything like that from an anonymous. I'll make sure everything is anonymous if you want to ask a sensitive question of any kind, okay? And finally, the next series of The Silver Lining is on its way. It is coming up really, really soon. And the title for this one, the third series of The Silver Lining, is going to be The Invisible Straitjacket. The Invisible Straitjacket. Now, what that means is, have you or anybody that you know has really held themselves back by a perception that they have, or a build-up of feelings or emotions that have prevented them from really moving forward in their lives in whatever capacity it is, whether it's work, relationships, whatever the case may be. I'm referring to those sorts of scenarios as the non-physical things that are preventing us from moving our lives forward. And I'm referring to those as the invisible straitjackets of life. I am going to be bringing on a whole bunch of people in and out of the real estate game. We're going to do a deep dive into what emotional intelligence actually is and things like that, which is going to be really, really cool and pertinent when it comes to moving forward in our real estate game, okay? So if you have anybody that you feel would be a really good addition to the show, please let me know, and I'll do my very, very best to get them on. For those of you that I've mentioned, I will be bringing you on. I will be sending links out in due course. So please make sure that you keep your eyes peeled for those. And yeah, like I said, The Silver Lining will be coming back to you all very, very soon. But for now, gang, you have yourselves a safe and superb Sunday. I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much to everybody that's tuned in so far. And we'll see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow, 12:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you there.